Well, good evening and welcome. Welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Fox. You're on the panel tonight as the one and only JFK and Port Bear. Evening, Port. Evening, JFK.
Evening, Oxchair. Evening, Port.
Evening, boys. How are we doing? Hope you're all well.
Yep, fine here, Matt. Fine here, pal. Hope you're all well.
Well, we had to let Bridge go, mate. Sad times, but obviously when he's been working for Sky on the sly, mate, enough's enough, you know what I mean? No. Hopefully he's taking it easy, the Algin, and he'll be fit for the match tomorrow. I think he's wanting to see the game, saving his energy to watch the Rangers. Only the Bridgeman would do that. So,
yep.
Hope you're all right, Mal Mucker, and we'll speak to you soon. And another shout out, please, when I'm on a roll, JFK, to Ronnie Bell. Ronnie, one of the stalwarts in the lobby. Ronnie, I hear you've had a wee bit of bad luck lately, right? Chin up, mate, and get Bell soon. We're all thinking of you, Ronnie. Not long now. This is real, Port Bear. You can feel the old butterfly starting in the stomach, yeah?
Oh, nerves are jangling, mate. You know, in Bridgeman's own wee words, one more sleep. Oxchair, one more sleep.
No, that was the Thursday night. You don't get to sleep when the game's tomorrow at lunchtime.
I know it's exciting, mate. You know, this is for real. This is what counts. You know, pre-season's one thing. You know, we've had a good pre-season. We've seen the technical side of Rangers when we played against Leon and Rennes, but we also showed against Motherwell and Coventry, mate. If we need to dig in and grind the result out, the squad were capable of that. So, you know, I'm excited, mate. I'm confident. I've got to admit, I'm really confident. So, you know, long may it continue, mate.
All right. The nerves are there, JFK, but it's not got you pulling your hair out like some of the supporters, is it?
No. I mean, the nerves are there, and looking forward to it. You know, we've had the taste of the other things with the English football and all that. But I'm really looking forward to it, mate. The noise that they create behind the scenes does make the game sound better, and it'd be better to have the teddy bears there shouting at all and that. But no, I'm looking forward to it, mate. Really, I'm looking forward to a good game of football, and I think with the no crowd situation, I think that'll benefit us more than it'll benefit them.
All right, as I told you, I've got a bet it's to win by to score more than 2 goals, JFK.
Well, I'm saying we'll win by 2 clear goals. Whether they score or no, but I'm saying it whether it be 2-0 and 3-1 or whatever. I think we'll win by 2 clear goals as well, mate.
I think 3-0.
Right. Who for?
3-0 to Rangers, mate. Morelos, Aribo and Hadji. That's your scorers.
Okay, mate. Okay. All right. Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do, mate. How's this grab you for a plan? We'll hear through our gaffer, Stephen Gerrard. I think Fox is going to model the new strip. First one ever. He's going to model it.
Nice.
Let everybody see it. And then we'll take callers. What do you think? Is that a plan?
That's a plan, mate. Get it going.
All right. So get yourself on mute and we'll hear through our gaffer, Stephen Gerrard, MBE.
Recovering from a hamstring injury, is progressing well, but obviously the weekend's come too soon. Stephen Davis is still getting a little bit of a niggling Achilles, but he is progressing really well. Probably missed this game by a couple of days, so we're expecting him back in full training early in the week. Should be available for Thursday night. Besides that, everyone's fit and well, assuming they come through this morning's session.
Stephen, morning. You know how much that the rivalry between the two clubs exists and how tightly fought the games have been over the last couple of seasons. To go there with no supporters tomorrow, how much do you think that's going to change the complexion of the game? Does it give you an advantage, do you think?
Well, I think it'll certainly be different. It'll be unique. We've had some rehearsals in pre-seasons to get used to that, but I think it'll have pros and cons as far as we're concerned. Obviously, the cons are we won't have the Rangers following up there who travel in the numbers and really get behind the team. But it's the same for both teams. We have to accept it and play the game. Obviously, an advantage will be that it's quite an intimidating atmosphere up there. Their fans get behind the team and can change the momentum of a game within there. So we're expecting it obviously to be a lot more calm. But in terms of the game, it'll be a tough challenge. It's an exciting fixture and one that we're all looking forward to. And the plan is to go up there and try and bring 3 points back down the road.
You've had a successful pre-season. Going into this season with everything that's on the line, is the biggest challenge for you making sure that your players are mentally and psychologically able to last the pace?
Yes, I think it's an area that we have to be extremely strong in terms of attitude and mentality over the course of the season. For me, it's important to try and control the noise. We have to accept that there's going to be a lot of noise. We understand the importance of the season. But for me, it's the next challenge that's always the vital one, and that's Aberdeen. So that's what everyone's focused on at the moment. We've got another session to prepare for that. We're in good shape on the back of what you say is a successful pre-season, but I'm not sure you get much success from a pre-season, if you like. But we are going in good shape, and people are looking ready.
Obviously, at the start of any season, getting off to a winning start's important. But is a part of you that views, getting a good run going at the start even more important this term, considering that you weren't able to sort of reverse that dip after the break last season?
Yeah, look, I think the important thing for us is to try and hit the ground running and try and take our pre-season form into this first game. It's a tough challenge. Aberdeen, historically, even before I come, is a tough challenge going away to Pittodrie. But you can only go on successful winning runs if you win the next game. So the plan is to try and start strong and take 3 points and really try and put a statement out there with our performance.
And can I get your thoughts on the 5 substitute rule that's going to be in use this season? Do you see that as maybe changing your mind on how big a squad you think you will look to have this season?
Possibly. I think it is something we will have to chat about in terms of a staff, a group, and also with the board as well. That could change the plans. I mean, we only got this news late last night, which is quite strange on the eve of a season to get news so big as that. But we do think it'll have advantages as well. It's an opportunity to try and get more people game time. You can keep more players in your squad happy. It's a chance to maybe at the right time blood some youngsters within that as well. Everyone knows how important the academy is here as well. So, it's something that we will adapt to, and we do see a lot of advantages from it. But it was a bit of a surprise coming on the timing. 48 hours before the game. It's quite strange to get that news because it's such a big change for everyone across the league.
Hi, Stephen. Obviously, the big news this week has been regarding Alfredo Morelos and bids. Is he in the squad for tomorrow? And is there any further news you can bring us in terms of interest and offers?
I think the big news is always Alfredo. I think it always has been for 2 years. And I remember looking in from afar, and it was about Alfredo quite a lot of the time there as well. That's something that we're all used to. It's something that we'll accept. There's nothing to report on him in terms of his situation. He's focused, he's training well, and he's available for tomorrow. In terms of whether he'll start or not, you'll find out tomorrow, 75 minutes before the game.
I know that this situation is completely out of your hands and it all comes down to whether clubs can agree fees and that type of thing, but I assume you've prepared for the eventuality in the past of him leaving or not. How big a loss would he be and how hard would he be to replace?
Well, I think I need to correct you first and foremost because it is in my hands and it is in my control. But in terms of for any of our players, if they end up going out the door, if evaluations are met and we decide collectively that it's the right thing for the football club, we'll always be prepared in any area.
Just moving away from Morelos, but keeping on the transfer front, how far away from you do you think you are looking at your entire squad in terms of exits and entrances? Obviously, the window will run on for quite a while, but how far away do you think you are from that final squad?
Well, I think it is going to be a unique window in terms of ins and outs. Obviously, some teams have only recently just finished. Some leagues are still playing. Some players are on holiday. So I think it is going to have to be a patient window. We are close on 1 or 2 things in terms of additions. So fingers crossed if they keep progressing. We're hoping to have someone in the door pretty soon. But until obviously you finalise that and get it over the line, I don't want to obviously say too much on it. But we are actively trying to make the team and the squad stronger. And we are close on a couple of things. In terms of outgoings, it depends on a lot of things. When you start naming squads and picking teams and stuff, naturally people it might feel like they're on the outside and things can develop at any given time, really. But no one will be leaving unless they either meet our valuation or we think it's going to benefit that player going out.
And just a quick word yesterday as well, the government announced that possibly fans could be reintroduced as early as September the 14th in some capacity. How big a boost do you think that would be, not only for you, but for the whole league?
I think it's a boost for the country. Everyone loves the game. Everyone's been through a very challenging lockdown. So the sooner we can get fans back in the stadiums at the safest possible way is a boost for everyone, me included, and everyone connected with Rangers. But I'm sure everyone shares that view up and down the country. Football is about supporters. We've had incredible support from the Rangers fans during this lockdown. And we want them back in the stadiums as soon as possible. But the important thing is the time's right, and it's the safest time to do that.
The last couple of seasons, we've seen Aberdeen, when they come to Glasgow, adopt quite a rigid formation, get men behind the ball. But at Pittodrie, the games have seemed to be a little bit more open. However, given Aberdeen's striker crisis and, as you mentioned earlier, the lack of a home support to really roll them on, do you anticipate that we may see them line up and give Rangers more a game that kind of resembles an away game rather than perhaps a usual trip to Pittodrie?
I think that's possible. I think we have to be ready for both. I think at times they've been quite bold, as you say, at Pittodrie. We will have to work the game plan out as and when. We do know that Derek's very organised in terms of his shape, and he does like his players to be really disciplined within that. So, we're ready for both scenarios. For me, it's about preparing Rangers to be in the best possible shape. We expect a tough challenge and a good game, but the games have been really entertaining up here at Pittodrie, and hopefully it's the same and we can come out with the outcome that we want. But we believe we're ready, and we're really looking forward to getting up there and getting the game started.
Stephen, what is Morelos' mood been like around the training ground? Do you believe he's focused on this game if selected?
Yes, I've been watching him very closely, as of all the players, to see how they're looking, see the mentality. I've also had some detailed chats with Alfredo. He tells me he's ready, he looks ready, and he'll certainly travel up to Aberdeen with us in terms of the squad. In terms of whether he'll start or not, as I say, we've still got to look at the players this morning in the final session, and we'll pick a team that we think is best capable of getting the result. But at the moment, he needs to, block the noise out like we all do and focus on the game in front of us.
You can win the league this year. Will you win?
I think it's a bit early to be saying stuff and creating headlines on all that type of stuff. For me, the focus is Aberdeen and trying to hit the ground running and starting as well as we can. We want to try and make the team and the squad stronger over the coming weeks and be in the best possible position to challenge on all fronts over the course of the season.
Hi, Stephen. Stephen, if I picked you up correctly earlier, you said that if Morelos, or if anyone else for that matter, were to be sold, you would have the final call on that. If Morelos were to go, or anyone else for that matter, have you been assured, or would you expect that money to be reinvested into the squad?
Look, I think it'll be a collective decision in terms of when we sit down and analyse any bids that we receive for any players. But what I can assure you is the board are not pushing anyone out the door or putting any pressure on me to sell. And I think as a club like Rangers, you've always got to be prepared if someone does leave to be able to replace. One thing's for sure, ever since I've walked in the door, the board we've always been on the same page in terms of trying to make this 11 and this squad as strong as we can to compete, and I don't think that'll change.
Right. And in terms of this season, Stephen, you've always had numerous challenges, be it with England in the Euros, the finals, Liverpool, trying to win the league, the Champions League. How would you assess the challenge facing you trying to stop the 10?
Look, it's big here. It was big in my first season. It was big in the second year. We understand and respect the fact that there's going to be a lot more noise around it because of the timing. And people on the outside will do a lot of talking, and there'll be a lot of pundits saying this, that and the other and having opinions on it. For me as manager of this team, the job's to keep the players focused on Rangers, on staying in the best form we can stay in, and getting a squad prepared and ready for all the challenges that face us. We don't need to get involved in any unnecessary noise. All we need to do is stay focused and win football matches.
Just one final one, if I may. How far away are you in terms of your squad to have that sustained challenge against Celtic? Because obviously you've shown it twice now that you can get to December and it's fallen away. How far are you from going all the way?
We still need to make additions. These players have given me everything they've got over the course of the 2 years. My job is to give them some help and support to make sure that challenge is sustainable over the course of the full season. So, as I've said, and I'll say it again, I'm actively trying to add players in certain areas of the team to make us better and more equipped.
You think something could happen by the weekend on that front?
By the weekend's the weekend now, isn't it?
Well, by Saturday then.
Look, we're close. We're close.
Right.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's a new Rangers player in the coming days.
You're into your third season as Rangers manager. Is this the biggest yet? And what is the main goal for the team during the campaign?
Well, it's the most important because it's new, it's fresh, the challenges are all in front of us. I think individually, from my point of view, try and learn and grow and improve from the previous 2 seasons and try and use them experiences to make yourself better and the team better. But of course, it's certainly the most important moving forward because it's what we can control.
Absolutely. And it's been quite an unusual pre-season compared to any other. Is there any players that really stood out and shone for you during this season?
Well, I think across the board, the majority have been really consistent. So I think someone mentioned Joe Aribo to me earlier on, and I certainly have to agree with that. His form's looking stunning at the moment. But, we've won the 4 games that we've played and challenges in front of us. We're keeping clean sheets. So defensively, we're looking organised and we're creating chances and scoring goals. And as a manager, that's all you can really ask for. I don't really like naming individual players, but what I've also been pleased with is that people have come out and really stepped up. Brandon Barker, for example, the cameos that he's shown why we brought him in the door and how helpful he can be moving forward. So that's what football's about, and it can change quickly all the time. We're always open for people who are maybe haven't been playing as consistent to step up and really try and affect the starting places in the team.
Given what's at stake this season, does that make the decision on Alfredo's future all the more difficult for you if he does? A bid was come in that was suitable.
Andy, I think this will work itself out. If there's a bid that's big enough that the board want to accept, we'll make that decision as and when it comes. At the moment, we're nowhere near that at the moment. So Alfredo's a Rangers player. He needs to focus on that, and he needs to focus on contributing goals like he always has done for 2 years. At the moment, I don't really want to add too many noise to it because we've got a game in 48 hours, and that's the most important thing right now, not ins and outs. The important thing is 3 points at Aberdeen.
I just wondered, obviously we saw the pictures from Anfield over the last few weeks with the scenes there with them winning the league. I just wonder if that sort of stirred your imagination and fired you up all the more for this season, perhaps achieve something similar up here, obviously the long way that the club here had for a title.
Well, I think it goes without saying how happy and proud and delighted I was from everyone at the club, and it was great to see from an ex-player and a fan's point of view. But I'm at Rangers, and my obviously challenge is to try and make Rangers as successful as we can. And every time I see success in sport, football more than any other, but I think it does whet your appetite and get the hairs on your neck standing up because you want to be a part of something that's successful, of course.
Okay, thanks for that. Fox, Old School Blue. The manager always talks sense, mate. Very honest. Doesn't get carried away. Level-headed. Steven Gerrard.
Absolutely, mate. Your gaffer carries himself superbly. Every press conference, as far as I'm concerned, doesn't let too much out of the bag. He speaks for the heart. Like I've said before on here, he sounds like a fan sometimes. He's mentioned some important things there, Ox Chairman. He was talking about, the current squad and stuff, where he feels over the last 2 seasons. I touched on this last night. We've not added a lot to the current squad. It's the same squad that's failed the last 2 seasons, in my opinion. So he believes the current squad, which has given him everything, he's taken him as far as that squad's willing to take him, he reckons. So he reckons he's got to add some quality to assist the current squad, Doc. And that's a good thing. He's also speaking about new deals. And then, some of the players that have stepped up during pre-season, mate, like Brandon Barker, who touched on, they're all, if you take a chance and you commit, you play well, you will get your chance at Rangers.
All right. Okay, we've been joined by a caller. I think it's Stuart. Evening, Stuart.
Good evening, lads. How are you?
How you doing, mate? All right?
I would just like to say that Gerrard's 100% and I would like to say to him, he's doing the right thing. He's keeping the books balanced. He's doing the right thing, which a lot of managers have not done in the past 5 or 6 years. But my main point is the 5 substitutes. Say for instance, Rangers were 2-0 up, and about 20, say about 60 minutes in. I think this is a good opportunity to bring the young ones in. The young boys from Blackpool. I know somebody in Aberdeen was talking about him. He's seen him a couple of times. That's a great signing, by the way. That's an absolutely fantastic signing for Gerrard. I think we should start bringing the young ones in and the substitutes. You'll have 3 substitutes and you can bring 2 young lads on every week, rotate them every week, and they'll get used to the squad. I think it's a great idea. I think they should do it. Maybe a lot of teams will not do it, but I think Rangers will do it.
For me, and I'll give you an honest assessment there, I would only do it if you were 3 or 4-0 up, mate.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even consider it if it was 2-0. 1 goal and things could go pear-shaped. It wouldn't be fair on the boys, even with 10 minutes to go, mate. With 9 subs, you might be able to put 1 or 2 on the bench. I agree with you. And then if you go 3 or 4-0 up, certainly you could give them the last 10 minutes or something like that. But I think you'd need to watch, because when the crowd's back and everybody's there, every goal and every point's going to be a prisoner. JFK. I
agree with you, Ox here. I suppose you could use youngsters in certain games. Obviously, there's games there that we've got to go and win every. We've got to win every game. But for me, it depends who the youngsters are. If you're talking about the boy Tony Weston, who signed for us today, and welcome Tony to become a Blue Nose and that. So he signed for us today for undisclosed fee. But no, it's not for me. I think you've got to play the 9 substitutes. You could put a couple of the young boys on in the bench and that, but it'd only need to be if we were 3 or 4-0 up, the same as you, Oxy. I'm no for just for the sake of playing them. I want the strongest 9 subs I can get on there, and if that means that young boys don't get a game, then that's just going to be it. I've stated my case here before. I don't think the system's working, bringing through the young players. And I think we showed that today by paying whatever we paid for the boy for Blackpool. Allegedly is a decent player, but so was the other ones that we've got in the youth setup. So for me, it's a no-no, mate. I play put the 9 strongest you can get to win every game, and if you can use the 5 to win every game, then use. I don't agree with the 5 subs allowed, but if we can utilise it, make sure it's the 5 best subs you can bring on. I
slightly agree with you and I slightly don't, JFK. I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't object to having 2 young boys on the bench and rotating them, and having 7 senior pros with them, obviously 1 a goalie. But I wouldn't put them on unless it was the right time. It'd be fair on them as well. What?
Agree, mate. I'm an advocate for youth getting processed, coming through to the first team, but the pressure that's on their team this year, mate. Bleed them and have them on the bench that you just touched on, mate. Have 2, as you said, rotate it. But if we're 3 and 4-0 up and the game's finished next year, then maybe bring them on. But this is too big a season, mate, to bleed youngsters willy-nilly into that squad. As you said, when it's a full ground, it can be another unforgiving place, Ibrox. You don't want to put a lot of pressure on these boys, but at 3 and 4-0 up in games, bleed them. The manager touched on his press conference. He is going to have young ones on the bench, so he is going to give them a platform next year. But I have to agree with you, mate. Maybe just another season for bleeding youngsters.
I think I'll be well at that in any season. I'm not saying I wouldn't give him a shot.
Yeah.
Obviously, the same thing would go if you were 3 or 4-0 down. But Stuart, in you come, mate. You're entitled to your opinion as well, mate.
What I would like to say is that I'm the Rangers fan. I've actually met you myself in a certain pub, mate. I can't say it because because what you do, right? And you were absolutely brilliant, right? I met you a couple of times.
You met me in a certain pub.
Yes, I can't say it because we're talking live and all that, just in case. You know what I mean? No, people can talk me. You know what I mean? Get you into trouble, as you know nowadays. Right. But so what I'm saying is, it's a certain. Give me a clue. I'll give you a clue. Coatbridge, the only pub in Coatbridge.
Right. I don't want to be cheeky, mate. I've never been in Coatbridge in my life.
No, I'm just. But what I'm saying is, right. I think Rangers will win 4-0 tomorrow. Right? The reason why, Aberdeen will get 2 main players, Rangers will get 2 players. That's not saying that. Before only took a couple of weeks, they thought it was going to be worse, and Davis is going to carry just a week like not. But I think the way I've watched the pre-season, right, thank God, I'm not saying because of the Aspires game. If Aspires hadn't became, they probably went somewhere else. But for some reason, the last 4 games I've watched Rangers have not lost a goal. The passing has been brilliant. Now and again, but I think they look a lot fitter for some reason. I don't know what it is I've done. I'm going to make an early prediction, right? And I've been a Rangers fan for just under 50 years, right? I'll be 50 next year. I think Rangers will win the league with 5 points, and I'm telling you right now, 5 points. Rangers will win the league with 5 points.
I don't care about your youth prediction as long as that one comes through.
Yeah, take that.
All right, I'll take that. Listen, Stuart, we've got a lot of callers coming in. Great to speak to you. I know you've been on a few times, mate, and don't be a stranger, eh?
I know I won't be a stranger. All you keep safe and do what you've got to do, and just hope for the second wave doesn't hit, which hopefully doesn't. Stay safer, and everybody take care and roll on tomorrow 4-0.
Thanks,
cheers, mate. Enjoy your night. Cheers, enjoy your morrow, yeah?
Right.
Cheers,
everybody
mate.
take care and stay safe, lads.
Cheers, mate. Thanks a lot.
Cheers, mate.
We've been joined by young Stardog, but we've also been joined by a caller. If you don't mind, Stardog, I'll take the guy on the phone.
No bother, mate.
Evening, caller.
Hi, boys. It's Bournemouth.
How are we doing, Bournemouth? All right?
Yeah, how you doing, lads? All right. How's Bridgeman? Is Bridgeman getting on all right?
Aye, all right. Aye, he's, you know what I mean? He's too busy answering all his letters. It's taking too much of him.
That's good. That's good.
I told him he get
are you guys? Are you guys all right?
Stamp, so he doesn't have to keep doing his autograph.
Are you guys all right? Aye, everybody's safe and that.
So far, mate, everybody's still safe. Fox is a bit of hair-raising experience today, but he's all right. I'll just need to get my hat to get him over it. What's on your mind, Bournemouth?
Nothing, just looking forward to tomorrow, isn't it? Big season, and we need to go off to a really good start. Just really looking forward to it. We've missed it. It's been a long time. It was good to watch the pre-season games and that, but it's the real stuff starts tomorrow, isn't it? So it's interesting to see what the team is, and we've just got to take it one game at a time, innit? We've just got to take it one game at a time, but it's going to be a big season, and I just hope all the boys are up for it. I really do.
Here. Stardog, how are you, mate?
I'm good, Oxchair. How's yourself?
All right, mate. All right. I'm glad you're back with us tonight. I feel a bit let down with my second choice, mate. I understand, but I still feel let down.
Yeah.
You know? What's on your mind, mate? You just looking forward to the game tomorrow?
I'm looking forward to tomorrow, mate. I'm honestly I'm not nervous at all. I don't know if it's because of the fans or no. I think this is going to be a routine result for Rangers tomorrow, mate. I really do. I think we're going to come.
What do you mean by that? Just a nice wee 2-0?
I'm maybe saying 3.
Right, okay.
I don't think we'll concede a goal, mate. I think the way they'll set up tomorrow, especially because of their striker situation in the Oxchair, they're going to sit in and hope to catch us.
They brought in somebody today for Leeds United, Aberdeen.
What's that?
They brought in somebody, a striker for Leeds United today.
Is he going to be able to play tomorrow though? Is he going to be in time? Aye. Well, I still think they'll set up to counter attack us. I think they'll set up to get us in the mate. I just think we're going to be too much for them tomorrow. That's how I feel, mate. I think we're going to be too much for them tomorrow. I'm expecting a goal for Joe Aribo. I don't know about their scorers, but I'm expecting Joe to get himself on the score sheet and get off and running for the season, mate. That's just how I feel. I feel as if we'll just be too strong for them tomorrow. I don't think they'll pose any kind of threat to us.
I hope you're right, man, my good friend. We've also been joined by Rudy, who I believe is that nervous he's off his food. Is this true?
Have you ever known me to be off my food, Ox? Have you?
No.
No. Doesn't happen, mate. I'm a Stardog there. I'm no nervous at all. But going to Pittodrie tomorrow, I think it's just going to be a wee troops up the road. We'll get the 3 points. I'm going for a 3-0. I don't know if it's a wee bit early in the show to say that, but I'm going for a 3.
No, get it out there, Rudy. Get it out there.
Morelos, Kent, and Aribo, I think, and back down the road with 3 points and a decent performance. I just heard you saying they brought a boy for Leeds in. I didn't know that until you said that there, Ox. But I don't know. I just think, if we keep the ball on the deck and we just play the football that we've played in some of the games, the pre-season friendlies, like Motherwell and there in France and stuff. We played some really good football.
Mm-hmm.
I don't expect them to kind of open up and try and play football against us. They never really do. Well, they do sometimes a wee bit at Pittodrie. They kind of open up a wee bit more compared to us when they're playing us at Ibrox. But I'm not really worried about this at all. I just think if we play the football that we know they're capable of playing, and if Kent and Aribo and Hadji are on it, I can't see anything other than a 2 or a 3-0. And so, as I said, I'm going to go for a 3-0. Quite happy.
I think you'll play for set pieces, mate. Trying their striker, who I believe is a big boy and all. They'll bring their boys up for their back, and that's how they'll play, mate. Corners.
But that's kind of normal for them, though.
That's how they'll play, mate. No announce of football, but that's how they'll play.
Yeah. Well, we've got to know that, though, because it's 2 seasons. Stevie G's been there, and that's exactly how they've played. Most of the games that we've played them in. So it's incumbent upon, like say, Aribo, Kent, and Hadji to sort of break them down, and create chances for Alfie, and for them to create chances for themselves as well. Just like Aribo has done recently too. A couple of cracking goals that big fella scored. So it's up to them to sort of pile in with the goals when they get the opportunity,
Mm-hmm. Port Bear. Last year we've only played them once up there in the league. We've not got the greatest record against Aberdeen since Stevie G came in. I think we've played them 10 times, mate. We've only beat them 3.
Yep,
But we went there last year, and arguably for 20 minutes, it was our best league performance of the season. And then the wheels come off, and it actually mirrored our season. And I don't know, at the time we were all annoyed. We dropped 2 points, but maybe there was more to it if we didn't learn our lesson that night.
No, mate, it's certainly not the best record, mate, on paper. But you always find, Oxshire, that Aberdeen raised their game, in my opinion, 50%. It doesn't matter what they've played like in pre-season. It doesn't matter they've got 2 strikers out. I can guarantee they'll raise their game, mate. I mean, they struggled to a 1-1 draw with Hibs in pre-season just there. As far as I'm led to believe, what I read today, done a bit of research, John, is Craig Bryson looks a bit as if he's been fully fit and well on form this year, mate. So I just think Rangers should have too much in their tank for him, mate. I think we're 3 main players who, in my opinion, has been Kent, Hadji and Aribo during pre-season. They're playing a bit of swagger at the moment, mate. They're playing totally different from the world last year. In my opinion, the formation stifles Hadji a wee bit and Kent because they're asked to track back quite a lot. So, I think this year they've been given a lot more freedom. That's what it looks like to me in the pitch. So the freedom they're getting, and as well, Aribo's always been told to go and join in as well and get his cell, go beyond Morelos. I think it's different this year, mate. I think we're going to have far too much attacking power for Aberdeen, in my opinion.
All right. TFK.
I'm confident we're going up there the more. I think more so because there's not going to be a crowd, and I think that will help the players. Because we know, as I said last night, the venom we get for the Sheep's fans. But I think it will help Alfredo. As long as Alfredo's not letting all this speculation get into his head too much, I think he'll thrive on it. And I think we'll come away with a comfortable win. I'm saying 2 clear goals. I'm thinking Rangers will score 2 or 3 anyway. But we just need to keep it solid. And I'm pleased with the way things have went in pre-season. Not going over the top, I'm not saying it's going to be easy to go up there and just walk away with the 3 points. I'm still wondering what Rangers will turn up on the day because, as you said, he's not got a great record against the Sheep up there since he came to Ibrox.
Period, mate. Period.
Period. Aye, you're right. Aye, even at Ibrox. I'm confident we'll win, but I'm not overconfident by saying it's a walk in the park. Mm-hmm. Let's see what happens tomorrow. But I'm confident we'll come away with the win. And if it's a bridge, man, I'll take that all day. But as long as we get the 3 points.
Well, that's the most important thing. But I wouldn't like to watch Bridges' team 38 goals all season. They'd be good to watch. Bournemouth.
I agree with your boys 100%. I agree with what Port was saying and all, that they've all raised their game. And it could come down to the midfield. It's going to be a bit of a battle because you know what they're like. They've got to be Fergus, McGee up. And then obviously they've signed that crater face for the puddle drinkers and also it's going to be a battle in the middle of the park, but the boys are on form.
Oh, we see me lost Bournemouth.
I think they. You still there?
You're cutting in and out, Bournemouth.
Can you hear me? Aye.
You're going away from you, so I don't know what you're doing, but
no, I think it'll be a wee bit of a battle. I think we'll all get the win, but like JFK says, I think the fans will be there. I think that could help us and all, because it's a venom crowd when we're up there, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Aye.
Mm-hmm. All right. Stardog. Stevie Gerrard walked in the door. His first league game was actually at Pittodrie. A game he actually played well in. We lost a goal in the last minute down to 10 men. Alfie gets sent off, and how McKenna never gets sent off is beyond me. We lost a silly goal at the end. That was 2 seasons ago now. Have we improved?
I think as a squad, aye. In terms of result, mate, that's yet to be seen tomorrow, isn't it? Because at the end of the day, the result's really the main thing that matters, mate. I know it's good we've improved the other 2 seasons, but you know the results have got to show that, mate. You know, I'm saying we've been playing good. I'm not basing us going up there tomorrow and beating them comfortably after what I've seen in pre-season. I think we're going to be a different team this year, mate. We're setting up a kind of different formation. We've got stronger players, mate, than we had 2 seasons ago. I'd say we've got more match winners. We've got more boys. I've got a bit more capability within the team, mate, to go ahead and get goals in midfield for the wide positions and that. So I would say we're definitely a stronger team next year. Aye, and I think the crowd's not been there as well. It might help influence. Well, no influence, I should say. Some big refereeing decisions, because we've been stung a few times up there, mate, with refereeing decisions as well.
All right, well said, mate. So, JFK, people want to give us a phone, give us their thoughts. What's the number?
It's 0141 356 1972.
Where else can you join us, Port Bear?
You join us on Skype at rangersradio.online. You were brought to the call by Old School Blue, Earl Terry and Fox.
Rudy Bear, same question to you. Have we improved?
I certainly think we have, Vox. The first half of the season, last season, some of the football I thought we played was really good. I thought there was games where we had to dig the result out. We managed to do that. Sometimes that's going to happen. You're not going to go out there, and play flattering football every day, every game, and get the 3 points. Sometimes you're going to have to battle it out, and we did that sometimes in the first half of the season last season. But it's a better team, and I just think, Stevie G in his interview there talked about bringing. He's looking at a player or two. He said one happening, hopefully, or the next.
I think he told us, mate, at least 2 are coming in there.
At least 2 coming in. Aye, he said that, and so we've got one coming in. Hopefully, sometime in the next few days. Seems quite imminent. It's not about squad players anymore, though, is it? It's about quality now. We've spoke about this for most of the week. All the guys have spoke about it most of the week. It's players that can come straight into that first team and contribute. That's what we're looking for now. Squad's way big enough now. We've got enough in the squad. It's about quality now. But has it improved since last season? Of course.
No, 2 seasons ago.
2 seasons ago. You're talking about that game, up there when Alfredo gets sent off. And he gets sent off because Clancy was the referee that day, funnily enough. But since then, we've improved. The football we play is better. But you would expect that. He's been there 2 seasons.
Sorry, but the person you've called.
This season, Ox, the players that are there, that have been there for the last couple of seasons, the likes of Ryan Jack, they've really got to step up now this season, though. So they've really got to step up and show what they're made of, and show that they deserve to wear that badge in their chest nowadays. So this season, so they have for me. But I think we've improved in leaps and bounds. Look, we were in the Europa League as well.
I'll give you that, mate. I'll give you that. That shows a lot of improvement.
Yeah, huge improvement.
Can I say something about the press conference?
Yes, mate.
I watched it today, obviously, and I was really peeved off. That's the only word I can use, because I could maybe swear and get myself banned. But there was 4 or 5 reporters there kept calling it "Stop the 10," and then there was 4 or 5 of the same reporters. They wouldn't even give Alfredo his first name. His name's Alfredo Morelos. They keep calling him Morelos, and "Stop the 10." And I think that's just the typical Rangers haters. And I get really, really disgusting. It is disgusting.
I'll tell you what.
They were
I'll tell you
trying to
what,
get a
JFK.
headline out of Manoj. I mean, he wasn't
Aye.
happy.
Put the
Yeah,
bait
trying to
out,
get a
but
headline out.
I'll tell you what, JFK. Doesn't matter what happens on the partner next year or so. I take your history for their history every day of the week.
Of course.
Yeah, and if anybody wants to put them under the spotlight, just check it out on Twitter.
Big
Anyway,
Ragman
joined by
Bagwash doesn't know what he wants.
We'll be joined by Gary. Gary, how we doing, Gary?
I'm good. Happy new season.
Happy new season. How we doing? How's the family, mate?
Very well. Very well.
How's the princess? You all right?
Oh, brilliant. That's our starting school in a couple of weeks. So.
Oh, mate, that's the start of the problems, isn't it? That's it, mate.
Port
Vale doesn't get any better, does it?
No, mate, Gary, I can vouch me. I've got 5, so
five. I'll be her 5, 7. She starts bringing boys home. 9, she's doing the drinking. It's murder, mate. Absolutely murder, isn't it, Port?
Oh, it's hell, mate.
It's a pocket money. I'm not worried about.
Mate, that doesn't stop.
Aye.
Doesn't stop. Anyway, Gary, what's on your mind?
I know you're just talking about the manager, I was just wondering how much kind of slack are we going to give him this year due to COVID? Because
in what respect are you saying if we are, say, hypothetically, if we're sitting 5 points behind at Christmas, is that the scenario? Or
it's just he's saying that he's obviously speaking to the board and he's asking for stuff, and to be honest, like in the current climate, can we really blame the manager if he doesn't get the guys in that he wants? I mean, I think if he gets another striker in and stuff like that, and we go forward, I think the team has improved, and I want is to move forward, but I don't want it that we put all the blame on Steven Gerrard because we don't win, like if we don't win the league and stuff like that. I think where the club is and is in a good position, and I would hate to tear it all up and start again.
I don't think you're alone, but I'll give you somebody who might give you an argument the other way. JFK.
All right, Gary, how you doing, pal?
I am good.
For me, it's Premiership or nothing, mate. I don't buy into the current situation that the COVID saved his job. He was always going to be here anyway for this season, but I still don't buy into it if he can't get the right players in. I think we've got a good enough pool of players, probably with the 1 or 2 additions that definitely will come in to win this championship. And for me, and I know I've been shouted doing a lot in the lobby and that, but if he doesn't win the championship this season, mate, then I think his job's got to be looked at. There's better and bigger managers than Steven Gerrard, who's been shown the door at Ibrox. So for me, it's the league or nothing, mate. I'm not interested in the Scottish Cup or the League Cup, although I'd like to win that as part of a treble. But for me, it's a league, and it's nothing to do with the tainted 10. We need to win the league. If he can become the first Rangers manager to win nothing in his first 3 seasons, for me that's unacceptable.
I'm glad you mentioned Rangers managers, just to let you know the current situation. Fox went to bed last night like Graham Souness in his heyday, all dapper, and he woke up like Mark Wahlberg. That's all I'm saying. You can work that out. Right. So, Gary, I'm on the train. I'm with you. I think Gerrard's important for the whole project. He's a catalyst, but we'd need to see improvement, and that's either a league title. I don't know how we get do better in Europe, because I think we might have maxed that, or at least a couple of cups. I get what JFK's saying, the pressure would go if he doesn't get any trophies, but I'm in for the project. I'm going to ask you a question in the lobby. Are you still on the train, yes or no, as I go to Stardug?
I'm on the train, mate. I'm on the train, definitely. But in the same sense, and being realistic, mate, you're the manager of Glasgow Rangers and you're here 3 seasons and you don't win anything. It doesn't matter who you are. Maybe there's better managers out there, like Jimmy said, but I don't think there's bigger managers, mate. I think as far as branding and naming goes and things like that, I think he's probably the biggest we could get. I don't honestly know, mate, what would happen, after what did happen this year. But for me, mate, I'm on the train and I believe in him, mate. I definitely do. I still think he's a man for the job. So we'll need to see what happens, mate. But for me, I'm still 100% on the train, Ox chair. Always.
Rudy Bear. He's in the Buffy cap.
100%, Ox. I said that to you last night. I'm still on the Stevie G train. I think as each transfer window's transpired and then ended, I think he's improved the squad with the kind of players he's brought in. I mean, they had a huge rebuilding job today, Ox. And the problem is he's at Glasgow Rangers. You know, had he been at sort of a team like Swansea or Leeds or somebody like that, he could have got by a couple of seasons, winning anything. But building a squad, Rangers managers don't get that opportunity very rarely, And you know that, Ox. We want success and we want it right away. But I'm absolutely convinced he will bring it to us. We should have had a bit of silverware last season. We never, unfortunately. But I'm convinced this season, I think he'll get it right. I think he'll have learned from the last 2 seasons. He said that in his interview the day. It's up to him to take the experience of the last 2 seasons and make sure these things don't happen again. And I'm pretty positive about the whole situation this season, Ox. So, I'm still on the train 100%, mate.
Port Bear, then Bournemouth.
Chew, Oxshire. I'm on, mate. I'm on the train, and I'll tell you, I keep saying this, we're not far away for getting that squad that's going to get us that title, and I believe the signings that Gerrard's going to make, which are going to be real quality, I think that's what we're needing, mate. We're only lacking a couple of players, Oxshire. We wiped the floor with Celtic last year in pretty much every game we played them, so I don't doubt that one bit. We will win the league this year. Pretty bold statement, mate, but I'm confident. I've seen enough last year and the year before. It's been improvement on season, but this year he needs to add real quality, which I believe he's going to bring in. So I'm on a train, mate, and I believe Steven Gerrard will deliver the league this year.
No, I think JWR's on the train, but he's social distancing. Good on you, JWR. Bournemouth.
100%. I'm in first class. I'm in the first coach. I believe the same as what Paul just said there, and all. I really think he's learned his mistakes.
If you're in first class, you'll get somebody else's trousers on.
But I really think a couple of quality players. But we've got everything. Every time we play, it's consistency. This season is all about consistency. We beat the lower teams. The stupid points that we drop, a couple of quality signings. It's there for the taking. I ain't scared of them one single bit. I really think there's a title win, Steven Gerrard. I really, really do.
All right, I'm going to bring Fox in and get his opinion. I know people like to hear it. He's not always get hair-raising opinions, but sometimes he's all right. Evening, Fox.
Leave me alone. I'm in serious depression. Oh, God. My world has ended, mate.
What have you done, mate? What have you done?
Let's just say.
Well, I'll tell you what. I got up this morning, mate. I said, I think I'll give myself a wee trim,
Oh, no.
And no. I've looked at done the tap, cut the tap with scissors, and done the side with the wee shears and all that.
Remember, he's talking about manscaping here. He's not talking about his heat.
And then I says, that's looking kind of spick and span. But, of course, you never see the back of your head. I've got only mirrors I've got in this house.
On the ceiling.
Aye, on the ceiling and the sliding mirror doors. But so I unscrewed my shaving mirror off my bathroom window and has a wee swatch. And I've got a fryer tuck. God's sake, mate. So that'll be me in for the rest of my life. I'm never going out again.
He helicopter last.
So if there's anybody out there with any pilot hats to the front
no, what I would like, remember Popeye Doyle and the French Connection, one of the wee hats, I kind of like them.
I've got one of them, Fox.
Oh, good, I'll meet up with you, Jimmy.
A pork pie hat. I've got one of them.
Aye, that's what I need, mate. It's either that or one of the Jewish prayer hats, the wee round thing which would just cover it in them hair, I think.
Just take a rest it off, mate. Just take a rest it off.
Just give yourself a Yul Brynner.
Aye.
Oh, come on, mate. I've not got a grey... I'm nearly 70 and I've not got a grey hair in my head, and then you wake up and find that. Absolutely soul destroyed.
I reckon Nurse Gladys has done it while you've been sleeping for.
Oh, no.
She juked up with a razor before she went out the door.
Right, Fox, this train, you on it or what?
Oh, aye, I'm on it, mate. Thomas the Tank Engine, I'm right there. Yeah. I'll tell you what, I was listening to that press conference. Was that not a breath of fresh air? The Zoom chat, mate. None of the mad clicking and coughing when people are saying questions. Nice, crisp and clear interview. Thoroughly enjoyed it, and I thoroughly enjoyed the manager's answers. And a big shout out to David Edgar, the only one that really asked a football question.
Yeah.
So fair play to him.
You're right, mate. They've got a football icon in front of them, and they're talking about silly things. It's unbelievable sometimes, you know. Players will come and go.
It's all headlines. They're looking for that headline clip when most of the fans just want to hear some football questions. Thank God we had David Edgar there.
Aye, so you're still on the train. Gary, in you come, mate. You started this train rolling.
Aye, I'm on the train. I just hope he gets more bang. You're talking we need quality signings. I just hope they are quality signings, because I think we're just still lacking at least a good enough striker up front and at least another guy in midfield. I just hope that he gets it back, because what it says, if there's one manager that I'd be disappointed that never got a title, it would be him, because his heart's in the right place for us, and the backroom staff and stuff like that. I just think it'd be gutting if he didn't have some success with us. That's how I feel about it.
I think his report card for where he started is superb, but there'll always be, till you get that league flag flying, there'll always be questions asked by the support. And rightly so, Rudy. We did demand success and we deserve success.
We've been a highly successful club all through our history, Ox. It's just the way we're made. You know, we expect to win. We expect to win league titles and cups and silverware. And I think the last couple of seasons, the big part of the frustration, I think, for the Rangers support is we're wanting it and we're wanting it now, you know, and and I'm the same as everybody else, Ox. I want the league title more than anything I could probably think of. I think the possibility going through another season without any, especially let's say without any silverware, you know. I know Jimmy's sort of drawn his line in the sand, and it's the 55th league title for Jimmy, and that's fair enough. I totally get that. I just kind of think, what do you do if you get to the end of the season, you haven't got the league title, but you've managed to lift 2 pieces of silverware, you know, the 2 cup competitions? Do you give him another season then to build just that wee bit more? It would be frustrating, Ox, you know. It's certainly, you know, because I felt so frustrated about the second half of last season, as we all did, you know. Second half of last season, you know, they played some really good stuff and played really well in the first half of the season, and then after the winter break, it's hard to say what happened to them. I still don't know to this day, really.
No.
But to go another season without any silverware, let's just say any silverware at all, Ox, I don't know. I don't know if I can handle another season like that, Ox. I really don't, you know.
All right.
Can I just change the subject before we go to the tune in a couple of minutes?
No.
It's about Rangers.
All right then.
I'd just like to welcome Rangers' new signing today, Lizzie Arnott. We signed her Scottish international.
You're watching your debut. I know what you're up to.
No, hey. You've criticised me, and I know Little Blue has a few things to say on the lobby and that. I'd like to go and see the women's football in the future, but I'd just like to congratulate Lizzie Arnott, Scottish international.
Man U. She scored Man United's first goal in the English Premiership, so all the best to her, right?
Yeah, I thought I'd get that bit in there, pal.
When does the women's season start?
It starts in a couple of weeks' time, mate.
All right, okay. Remember, you and Bridge have got a job to do.
Yep, I'll have my notepad and pen ready, pal.
Well done, Jimmy. You're a modern man. Well done.
He is a modern man.
He's a modern man.
I could just say that I'll have my hidden camera with me as well.
He's came such a long way, his JFK.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, welcome Lizzie to the Lizzie Arnott from Manchester United.
Well said, Jimmy. Well said.
Big Sonia's still your favourite, but isn't she?
I might be able to interview her 1-to-1.
Did you keep it together?
No, wouldn't last long that interview, I'll tell you.
Would it end early?
Let's just say the interview would end prematurely.
Yeah, it would. Very, very. The quickest interview you've ever seen in your life. But anyway, yeah, welcome. That's two sides today.
Fair play. And they seem to be signing some serious players at that the women's team. So wish them all the best. I get your point. I'll still concentrate on the first 11, but we still wish anybody connected to the Rangers family all the very best. That right, Bournemouth? Oh, he's gone. He's gone. Is that right? Stardog.
100%, mate. As soon as they're in that club, we've got their backs 100%, mate. Rangers for life.
Here. Right, we've reached that time of the evening. What tune do you fancy, Rudy?
What about the old bangers and mash? Starting a new season,
Rudy.
Let's kick
Rangers
off.
Radio.
All right, then. What the Bully Boys done? Is that all right?
Rangers Radio.
The Glasgow Ranger boys.
I'll let you decide.
I like that song that Fox and Old School played a couple of weeks ago. I played it a couple of times. I don't know if they know the girl's name, but it's a fantastic.
Paisley Road West one.
Paisley Road West.
What a tune that! What a tune! Oh, fantastic tune.
The soft version of Blue Sea Ibrox, since Bridgeman's no here tonight, he requested that days ago.
Blue Notes. With the Blue Notes.
Love it.
Yeah, classy tune, mate. Classy tune. We'll know of any of them known Fox, but we can always ask. Right, get yourself in mute. We're going to have a tune. Well, back, Bridgeman will be dancing around the table. That's Foxy's favourite ditty. He likes that one.
It's a classic, I know, mate. I like that one.
I'm not sure. I think that might have been the 64 treble team that done that. I might be wrong.
The year Portbear was born.
It wasn't the 1864 team, mate.
Oh, right. Sorry, man.
Right, well back, gentlemen.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
A lot of things moving at the club, and I'm sure we'll come back to the game. I'll ask you maybe your team, because we don't have that much tomorrow, and we'll have the team bit in. But a lot of things happening at the club, sponsorships, deals getting done. This Custode deal, the shop, I think, is going to be finished for Thursday. It's going to be that busy. They had to make it ticket only, yeah. My just people getting first dibs are getting tickets to queue up to maybe purchase the second strip. But so I know it'll not be everybody, but it's revenue for the club, and it's that revenue that helps us drive us on. So JFK, you're a man that doesn't mince his words.
I'm hoping to maybe just give a wee trip over there on Thursday, just in the off chance I might get in.
Right.
Look to see what stuff would fit a voluptuous gentleman like myself, and I'll give you the information that you would probably need in that as well.
I'll lift you here, Jimmy.
Yeah?
I'll lift you here.
I think it's be a great day for Rangers with the merchandise. You know, we sold out the online sales that they brought out a couple of weeks ago, about 3 weeks ago, and I think it's going to be a good day and a good season regarding merchandise. Looking forward when the games day start, or then we're allowed to just walk into the Rangers shop and be able to buy something. As you said many times, Oxia, been quite embarrassing. And I heard Rudy say the other night there about bringing a relative and that up, his son-in-law, and getting into the Rangers shop. There's nothing there to buy. There's only one word for it, tat, and that's nothing against, because it's a Rangers brand. But the man that was the catalyst to what he did with merchandise, you know, he made it like a tat shop. So now we've got it back under our own wing. I'm really looking forward to seeing what else I've got to offer. I won't be buying a shirt. It's not my type.
No.
I will be buying a nice polo shirt, hopefully, if it's not any more than £50. But we will see about that.
I think I might get you a sleeve, mate.
I probably would. Maybe get me the bag to carry it home in, mate.
I think you're being a bit optimistic there, Jimmy.
I know. I'm hoping. It's going to be good, mate. It's going to be good.
That's a bag, isn't it? Rudy, here's your thoughts, mate. Obviously, the Majors thing, people not happy with it, but you've got to give something. People are paying more money, so you've got to give them a wee bit for their cash.
Yes, I saw a certain amount of, let's say, unhappiness, you know, with fans that have not signed up to the Majors. But it's right what you say, you know, if you're asking fans to join something like Majors, then you've got to give them sort of a wee bit of something, haven't you? You've got to give them something back. You can't just expect them to sign up for Majors and basically not really give them anything, you know. I sort of understand where some of the fans, I was reading some stuff earlier on this afternoon, I sort of understand where they're coming from. If you're no Majors, you kind of have to wait before you can get in to buy stuff and all that, you know, but it's just the way the club's decided to do it, you know. And if I think, going by what I saw this afternoon on some of the forums, some of the unhappiness, I don't think that's anything else. Just wait till the final in September, start letting fans into the stadium. You know, how they're going to do that, I haven't got a clue.
I've got that solved, mate. I've got that solved.
I wouldn't like to make that decision, Ox. There's got to be some unhappy bears, I think, that right there, you know. But for me, I'm just really pleased with the way everything's gone, in all honesty, you know. We've got some good sponsors, you know, we're bringing in sponsorship and stuff like that, you know. And it's all gone in the right direction for me, Ox, you know. I mean, I think if you have to wait, 2, 3, 4 weeks to get your hands on whatever bits of kit you want, consider we've had to wait all this time. It's like Jimmy just mentioned there, you know, me and my son-in-law standing there with my wee granddaughter, we couldn't even go into the show. We got photos took way around about the stadium and all that, and we couldn't go into the show and buy anything, you know. We just couldn't do it. If you've had to wait all that time could buy a bit of kit. I'm sure another few weeks is not really that bad.
I don't think we're maybe talking about that. We're talking about the next day.
Well, even then, well, there you go then. You know what I mean? So does it matter? Like, I think there's just been a wee bit of unhappiness with the players that haven't signed up to the Majors, you know, because the Majors supporters are getting that wee bit extra. You know, I don't have a problem with that at all. You know, it's the club's got to give them something back, you know, if they're asking money off them. So I happy with the whole situation, Ox. Looking good, 50,000 shirts sold in 36 hours. That's amazing, you know, but that's nothing. That's absolutely nothing compared to what's going to get sold over the next
What's going
season.
to happen now? Aye, this is just the start.
Can I just say there, if Foxy's serious about giving me a lift there, I'll bring him a balaclava.
one good turn deserves another, Jay.
Definitely, I wouldn't like to see him embarrassed.
Can I just also put it there, if anybody does go on Thursday, gets a strip, can he keep the bag, send it to me, and I'll get it to JFK? Stardog, you've got a young family, and they'll be getting to the age, particularly Connor, and that they'll be looking at strips and being shown an interest. And would it bother you if you had to wait a day?
No, wouldn't bother me, mate. Rangers are worth waiting for, mate, in all aspects of life. You know, I think what Rudy said there's important, mate. You know, if there's fellows out there, guys and women out there buying into Majors and things like that, I think it is important, mate, that the club, they give them something back. And I mean, like you say, Oxford, it's only a matter of waiting a day, mate. You know what I mean? Everybody's going to go in there. There's going to be plenty of strips and taps for everybody and merchandise for everybody, mate. You know, this is a show for the future and it's a show for the fans. So, I think what Rudy says, mate, touchstones is a great point to make. You know, you've got to give them something back, mate. You know, so I'm happy with everything. Connor's not got his eye on one, mate. Connor's got his eye on all the taps this year. He wants them all this year.
All right, mate. Okay. All right. That's interesting to know. Stardog, I was going to ask you something that slipped in my mind there. Aye, you're a guy who likes sportswear. Is that fair? That's your thing. You like to wear sportswear.
Only comfortable wearing sportswear, mate. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you looked at the Castor stuff?
No, the actual clothing brand itself, mate, for, you know, casual wear, like that. The Rangers stuff, 100%, mate. Anything Rangers I'm in, Oxford. It doesn't, honestly, no matter what design or what make it is, mate. If it's Rangers, I'm in, 100%.
Okay. Port Bear, you've got a tribe as well, and then we'll go to Gary, who's got. Is this got the imagination of the youngsters? Castor?
100%, mate. You know, me personally, I've got a body warmer that I had before they were even announced Rangers, and I've got 2 T-shirts. You know, that I got
that's good to know, Jimmy. Did they do that size, mate?
Really? Well, that might be a wee bit big for me, though. Do you think so?
Might be, mate. We can always get it 2 10.
What I had to do with T-shirts, mate, the first one I ordered a larger first time, which I usually get with every other T-shirt, but I had to get a size up. So I would always advise any players that are, you know, listening, go for a size bigger than you normally buy. That's what I had to do. But, you know, the body warmer for Oxford was 180 quid, and the T-shirts were, like, I think they were 47 quid each. You know what I mean? That was just for 3 items. You know, but it's definite quality gear. You know, I really do like the stuff. As far as the range are concerned, if they want it, mate, they'll get it. And that's the way I think all bears are, mate. You know, I said it the other night, take a store, you bring it, we'll buy it. That's what Gerrard's fans do, mate. You bring your merchandise and they'll buy it. They'll buy it all. I mean, but make a hat, make a scarf, make gloves with, you know, that crest on it, mate. You know how important it is to Rangers fans. And would it bother me waiting for a wee day, an extra day for the match? No, it wouldn't, mate. Because at the end of the day, you're going to get it. You need to get quality gear, mate.
This is only my opinion, and we've been doing this for a while now on here, and a general complaint that we got is we were looking for quality gear. And obviously, if you get quality, you're going to have to pay a wee bit extra, and I understand that not everybody can afford it, and I sympathise, and I do understand, but I think we've got quality gear, Gary, yeah?
Yeah, definitely. I think even Castor know that not a lot of everybody will be buying £65 taps and stuff like that. So I think there will be stuff available for people to buy, even if it's a T-shirt that will be at least affordable. Just on the kids stuff, I've not really seen much of the kids stuff. I know
Not
that
yet, because I think this is the start of the launch.
The big reveals in the day of the opening. That's a big reveal.
Is it?
Everything's building up for start tomorrow, and then slowly building up to Thursday, and then I think you'll see a lot of stuff that we've not seen yet. Yeah.
Where Castor thought about as well is for obviously me having a wee lassie. Obviously, when she's going to go up, there's going to be availability for her to actually get a lassie Rangers top rather than buying a guy's type of top for her. You know what I mean?
It's a growing market, mate. The ladies section of the club, you know.
So all that stuff's good in a sense because it makes them more relatable. If you know what I mean, there's more option for people to buy for them. So no, it's all good.
Okay. Right, that's everybody had a wee. Go to Fox. Fox, what's your view on the Castor, and then Rudy to close it?
Well, it's good quality merchandise. I understand why the club and Castor have had to break it into groups because there is a virus going about, and they've got to let so many people in the shop at a time. They've spread it out well over the day with the hours they've got. And I think it'll work out well, mate. What else would you like to me to say?
How big a balaclava do you need?
Oh, Jimmy, don't. I'm sitting here depressed. Leave me alone.
You're all right, pal. I could bring you a wig.
I was thinking of getting some of that black shoe polish, mate, and maybe kind of rubbing it into my head.
I've got that vision in my head now, I can't get it out.
What about the picture of that? What about the stuff I sent you today?
Oh dear.
Aye, that was a bit below the belt. Never mind.
The Hamlet advert.
Get a CU Jimmy hat.
You might get a Castor one, Fox. You never know.
I offered to get my Castor hat, and he used a lot of expletives and told me where to go.
Get him one with a bob on it. He likes them Oxford, doesn't he?
A big bobble at the top there.
Aye.
Do you know, see, as far as the kit goes, if it's all the years where we couldn't buy it, that's what it comes down to now is we can buy it now. That's what's important to me. You know, having to wait a wee bit's fine. You know, my gels guys and lassies who have signed up to the my gels, you know, give them a wee bit extra. If that means them getting in at first to get their kit, great. Brilliant. Got to give them something back. But for me, I don't really care. If I have to wait a wee bit, I'll wait a wee bit. Quite happy with that because now I can actually go in and buy it now. And that's the important thing, I think.
Can I ask you a question? Will there be other retail outlets selling them on the same day?
No. That's the only opening that day. Seemingly the Glasgow Airport one isn't opening till next month, like middle of next month. Folks, I want to know. And there's one in Belfast opening up again as well. But
one in Liverpool.
One in Liverpool as well.
That's a Castor. There's two Castor shops. There's one in Liverpool and one in London, mate. They're Castor shops.
Yeah.
Okay.
JFK's talking about their Ranger shops. One in Belfast, one in Glasgow Airport. Yeah.
Right. Yep. That's what I've heard. The Belfast and the airport shops will not open to the middle of next month. It's solely just to promote and get things going for the new range that Castor have brought forward. So that'd be great. The guys air the water and people going on holiday and that. And I mean, if I can't get out there, obviously the Thursday, which I'll not be obviously because I'm not a my jersey member, but I certainly will be making a trip. Me and the big man will be going out there on Friday morning. Hopefully, I don't know if Fox, can you tell us is Thursday the only day for the my jersey, or is it a couple of days, mate?
I think it's just a Thursday.
Right, okay, so I'll not waste my time being there now.
You might if you go in the afternoon, mate. You might have settled down on Thursday.
No, for what Fox is saying, they've
no, it's full. All the tickets have
allocated. They've allocated an hours. Aye.
All right. Talking about wait a minute. Who was in the call? I think George has joined us, but he seems to have dropped out. You there,
Oh,
George?
How you doing, boys? All right?
All right.
Georgie boy.
George, you're not
How you
showing
doing,
up.
big
How you
man?
doing, George?
How you doing, boys? All right?
Yeah, all right, mate. Good to hear you.
Hi, good boys. Looking forward to the start of the season more, obviously, boys. It's a bit of a strange start to the season, Ox. Of course it is. I don't think the team that starts for us tomorrow will be the team that starts, say, for example, the 1st of September. I think we'll be, again, we're talking about 2 players. We could possibly get 2 or 3 players in there. I think we're close to getting finishing this jigsaw. It's been a slow process, but we're definitely getting there. I think the board's backing the gaffer as much as we possibly can. Right now, looking at the 2 teams, we're on the eve of the Premier League starting tomorrow. I think they're still slightly ahead of us, first 11. I think we can improve now where we need to improve 2 certain positions. So I'm looking forward to the season. Also, I really think we can march on with this manager and this board and the fans, and I really think we can do it this season.
Now that I've heard you on, George, I've got the battle fever on, and the nerves are starting. Sorry, George.
Not a problem. Aye, but also I'm really looking forward to it. It's been, like I say, it's been a bit of a strange build-up to any football season. I think they're improving in places that I didn't think they had to improve. I think we've got certain positions now, and we need guys to stand up to the fight. Is Ryan Jack got to be the guy? Is what do you call him? Ryan Kent got to be the guy? Can we trust Morelos to play there more? Knox? Do you trust Morelos to play tomorrow?
I think Morelos plays tomorrow for me, George, and it might tell you something that you might not be moving soon. Which to improve your team and to keep improving your team, unfortunately, you've got to get rid of fans' favourites because you've got to bring somebody in that's better than him. And if Steven Gerrard thinks that this boy plays South Africa is better in that role than Ryan Jack, and he turns out to be, we've improved our team. And if Ryan Jack's a casualty of that, or he has to up his game and play even better to get in our position of the team, we've improved our team again. That's football. George?
I know you're right, Ox. You're 100% right. That's what I'm saying. I think it's maybe the pressure maybe Ryan Jack actually needs to stay in the team and daft bookings and things like that. If somebody comes in there to improve that position, I think Ryan Jack and Steve Davis and guys like that will probably have a part to play this season, but maybe not a massive part. Bringing young guys in, and that's not the season for this as well. I think it's guys like, Joe Aribo and things like that's really going to have to stand up to the plate. I'll come out of there tomorrow with any victory at talks out of there, coming away from there, because it's not an easy place to go, fans or no fans. So if we come away for a victory tomorrow, that's what I'll want for the Rangers tomorrow.
3 points, George. Port Bear.
100%, mate. All right, George, how we doing, mate? Hope you're well. I think with the new guy, the guy I think it is, Zunga, Oxford, I don't really think it's the end for Jack or Kamara per se. I think he's going to be a natural replacement, in my opinion, for Davies. So therefore, it'll be a battle between, Aribo, Jack, Kamara, and the new guy. That's what I think that this guy's been brought in today. He's brought in to basically fill the gap for Steve Davis, because Steve Davis is not going to be able to hold up to a full season this year, I don't think. And I think he'll be used sparingly, but I think he'll be used wisely in a squad where, in some of the big games where you're going to need that absolute football and genius brain has to, see out games. You talk about it often, Oxford, how he nicks, he's not the best, he's not a great tackler, but he's always in the right place to nick the ball away for these, for these players. I just think it's a massive season, mate, and with a few added additions to the squad, we won't be far away, mate. Definitely not.
GFK. All right. Rudy Bear.
I think you've got to keep improving the squad. You've got to keep improving the first 11. Every opportunity, every transfer window, it's what happens at a club like Rangers. And if that means, as you say, you might have to drop a fan's favourite, then you've got to drop them. It's not about one player, or a couple of players. It's about team performances, It's about having a good squad of players, a good bench, guys that you can bring off the bench to affect games when it might just not be going your way. It's having sort of a few guys there that you can think, right, I can trust them to come on and make something happen if needs be. So if it means losing or, dropping a fan's favourite, then that's just how it has to be. There's been no bigger fan of Stephen Davis than me early years. I love the guy. I think he's been a brilliant player. But like I said the other night, Ox, don't mean any disrespect to the man whatsoever, to Stephen Davis. I just think he's coming to the end of his career now. And, I think Mark was saying about, pick and choosing these games for him this season. Well, that was...
As we know, as young guys, Rudy, sands of time, wait for no man.
Wait for no man, Ox, you're right. And that's how it is. But yeah, if Steven Gerrard can bring in 2 or 3 players between now and the end of the transfer window that can walk straight into that first team and hit the ground running, then that's exactly what we need to be doing in transfer windows, Ox,
Yep.
Really, really have to be doing that.
Stardog, can you come, mate?
Aye, just basically touching on what Woody's saying, mate, I still think we are short in the midfield. I think we need a battler, somebody that can get into both boxes, mate, do a bit of defending and a bit of attacking. If we're looking at Ryan Jack and you're trying to say, where does he fit into the midfield? Like, what can he do? Is he going to be that sitter, or is he going to be that guy that's pushing on forward into the box? Without being too harsh on him, mate, I wouldn't say he's brilliant at either of them. He's a good... He's good at setting a tempo in midfield. I think we've seen that at the early stages of last season. But, I'm always looking for improvement in the Rangers team, mate. It doesn't matter if it is a fan's favourite to me or, a top goal scorer or whatever. You're always going to be looking to improve at this club, mate. And I hope this midfield that Port Vale's raving about steps up to the plate, because Port Vale's still a lot to say about him. I've not seen anything about him, mate. I'll be reserving judgment until the signing's done and I've seen him playing. But for me, we do need a battle-hardened midfielder in there, mate. 100%.
And you come, JFK?
Sure, maybe technical hitch here. There's not much I can add to what the guys were saying there. Whatever player Stevie G brings in, we know that they've got to hit the ground running, and that's what we're wanting. The boy Zunga, for what I've found about him, he looks apart. I mean, he's a box-to-box player, and that's the type of player that we want. Because I'm a bit disappointed in Ryan Jack, because I thought he was going to be that player in the middle for us, and I agree with what Stardug's saying about that. I'm looking at maybe more adventurous in the midfield and get a bit more forward. The boy Zunga is a box-to-box midfielder, as they call him, but he's a good number 8 as well. And and that's what we're looking for. And so Ryan Jack needs to beware, because as Stardog said, we can't judge him on just what we've seen on YouTube and that. But if he hits the ground running, then Ryan Jack's place in the team is in jeopardy if he becomes a player that we want. I want Ryan Jack to be that player, but unfortunately he's not showing me that.
Or Kamara's place.
Yeah. Or Kamara's place, aye. Or Kamara's, definitely. But time will tell. The gaffer's telling us there, don't be surprised. Well, he's not saying don't be surprised, but there'll be something happening probably before Monday, and I'm thinking it's going to be the boy Zunga. Others we don't know. We just need to wait and see. I'm happy. I'll back. I know I said earlier if we don't win the league, then I think I'm not saying he should be sacked by any manner of means. What I'm saying is, I think his job will be shaky, because there'll be others who'll be making things. But for me, he's got to win the league, and he has to bring in the right players. And I don't think we're that far away. And let's hope that Alfredo sees out the season ways, or at least sees out to Christmas. Because we need Alfredo, and I'm looking for him to score a couple of goals tomorrow. I'm going for a 2 or 3 tomorrow, and I'm hoping Alfredo scores them.
All right. Port Vale, there's been a lot of people on Facebook giving predictions and giving thoughts on the game tomorrow. I think you've got a few of them and some names to go with on the Rangers Radio Facebook.
I certainly have, mate. We've had a fantastic response for the troops on my Facebook page. As always, I'd like to thank them all next year, because they're really participating in everything we're doing on Facebook. It's been a good laugh. I'm just going to find a few of our names around, mate. We've got Alan Palovich. He says 3-0 to the Bears. We are the people, he says. Jim Dingwall has said it's 1-0 for the Bears. He said it's never easy up there. And a wee goal from Aribo. Ronnie Chapman says 3-1 to Rangers. We shout out to my mate, Peter Strange. Thanks, he tunes in every week. Andy McElroy, 3-1 to the Gers. Just give us a win. John Cagey, 2-0 to the Gers. Morelos gets both goals. Mark Foy, he's saying 4-0. Hadji and Kent to score. Margaret D, she's saying a win will do for me. That's like a wee poem. Arthur Kilpatrick, he's saying 3-1 to the Rangers.
That's plenty, Isa.
No, a good response to the Bears, mate. A good response to the Bears, and thanks very much, troops. Cheers.
Brilliant.
But it's positive, mate. They're all positive. They're all saying the Rangers win.
Gary, what's your thoughts, mate?
A Rangers win, but I think it'll be another tough game. I don't think it'll be a straightforward game. I think it'll be the usual. That it'll be Barton Rams at the ready. Up there. Derek
with the team they've got, mate, they'll play for set pieces, try and put the 3 centre-halves forward.
He's always got a point to prove against us. You know, it's because he's been linked to being a manager for us and all that. It's always going to be like everybody else was saying earlier on, the Razor game. And the Razor game for a couple of things. One, because of rivals, and two, because he obviously turned down Rangers and stuff like that. So it'll be a hard game.
I think we'll win by at least 2 goals. I really do. I think we'll score more than 2 goals. I just think we will. And if we keep a clean sheet, we'll get off to a comfortable start for me, Stardog.
I think it will be, Stu. I mean, I was looking back at the start of last season, particularly, with the players we brought in, and nothing was a done deal with Ryan Kent, and we hadn't had a settled squad, mate. We knew what we needed. We knew we were a bit short in a lot of places, and it taken a wee while, mate, for the team to gel. But when it gelled, coming up to Christmas, mate, I think we all know how good we played. To me, this season, mate, I think we've got a more settled squad. We've got a really, really good base, mate. A really, really good core of players there that have all played together now for a good, solid season. They know the ins and outs of the team. They should know, mate, what it takes now to play with Glasgow Rangers. So for me, mate, I think we're going to have a strong start to the season. I just hope we can maintain that, mate. But it's all about the tempo for me no more. We've got to put the tempo on this team and show them what we're all about, and hopefully get an early goal, mate, to settle us and just go for there, mate.
Rudy, if we play, we win,
Always. That's always been the case, Ox. In the last couple of seasons, we've got the better football players. And I think it was against Coventry. Stardog just touched on tempo there. I think it was against Coventry. You could hear Stevie G shouting about tempo. Come on, keep the tempo, get the tempo back up again. And that's what it's all about. It's about tempo. You have to go out and hammer it away at teams at the start of the game, because I think you probably know yourself, folks. If you start the game too slowly and a bit lacklustre, it's hard to get back into the game again for there. So you need to come out with the right frame of mind. We'll keep the tempo up. We'll fire into them. We'll keep the tempo up, because if the tempo drops off, it's hard to get it back again. I'm going for 3-0. I really am. I'm going for 3-0. I'm going to try this season. I'm going to try and be as positive and optimistic as I can this season. You know what I mean? I know it's not always possible, but I'm going for a 3-0, and I'm going for Alfredo, Kent and Aribo for the 3 goal scorers tomorrow. I'm not if Alfie get a hat-trick, but I don't think he will.
George?
I think it will be a tough game, Ox. I think we've got an exciting team now. Guys that can play a bit of football, guys that can set up goals. Alfie's definitely dangerous in front of goal. Ryan Kent and Hadji's very dangerous as well. So I think we've got a really good team, and we can really go up there and we can put a wee bit of stamp down. And I think with USA, if we play, we win. And that should be the scenario in every game. If we play, we win. As simple as that. We've just got to have the mindset to be able to get there and beat them and win these games, because a good start to the season means everything else, Ox. It really, really does.
Aye, it's important for momentum. Then the next game at Ibrox becomes a bigger game.
I think that first game at Aberdeen. Sorry, Ox. I think that first game at Aberdeen. I think that you keep on saying it. I think that just tells you how your season was really going to go, Ox. If I'm perfectly honest, I think we were absolutely fantastic when we we played football, and then it all just fell apart at that certain point, and that's what happened in our season, if I'm perfectly honest. So we need to improve on that more. That's the first thing.
Aye, be interesting to see how it goes. I'm looking forward to it. Anybody sceptical? Anybody particularly nervous?
I am.
I am nervous.
I just think we can't take Aberdeen lightly. They've got a settled defence. The big goalkeeper is a good big goalkeeper, Joe Lewis. They've got a back four, usually a Logan, Constantine, who's the other one, McKenna, and the boy Matt Lowe. And in front of them, you've got, what do you call that, Shinny.
He's away.
He's away.
Is he away? Oh, that's one
So is
good
Max
thing.
Lowe, mate. Max Lowe's away back to Derby.
Is he?
Yeah,
I'm
Lewis
just-
Ferguson in the midfield.
well, they've got some hard tackling players, mate. And I think we'll need to fight for everything we get. I'm thinking maybe 1-0. I don't think it'll be an absolute rout or anything. I think it'll be tough and we'll need to earn it.
All right, Gary, in you come, mate.
I would say this, folks. I don't know. I think we will win the game. It will be another hard-fought game up there. I say we've not heard too much about Aberdeen, but he's always got his teams ready against us and stuff like that. So, and to be fair to them, they have always been up there in the last few seasons, near the top end. So, to say it's going to be a walk in the park, I can't see it. The team, like I said, if the team that played against Coventry played the exact same way against them, then I can probably see us getting the 2 or 3. But I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait for it to start. I'm just a bit wary. I just hope they get a good start, and then that will hopefully give us confidence to kick on for the rest of the season. A bad start would I would worry about some of the players that their heads might go down. But I hope it's a good win tomorrow.
All right. First and foremost, Stardoggets will be getting the 3 points.
100% Ox chair, you know. It doesn't matter really if we get a bridge man, 2, 3, 4. It's about getting the W, mate, and it's about getting a good start to the season. I know it's not the be all and end all if we were to drop points, mate, but as Gary just touched on there, you know, you would maybe start to fear for some of the players, mate, and their mentality and things like that. So for me, it's all about getting the W on the board, mate, and kickstart on our season, because this is a massive season for us. But I'll be taking it a game at a time, Ox chair. We'll be looking past the game as it comes, mate.
All right. JFK, it's about the 3 points. Every game's about the 3 points, isn't it?
Of course it is. I mean, I'm not saying I'm overconfident. I'm just liking what I'm seeing, and I can understand Gary and Fox saying what they're saying, you know, but I'm looking at what I saw in pre-season and not getting carried away with it. But I'm happy with what's going on at Ibrox and the way the teams. But I know, like when we were watching Ryan Jack here, and you're beginning to wonder what he's doing a couple of times in the park. But look, it's not because I think that Aberdeen are rubbish by any manner of means. They'll put up a good fight tomorrow, but I just think that we've got enough in us to go and win the game. And when I say comfortably, for me 2-0, 3-1's a comfortable result. I'm not going for the 3-0s, 4-0s and that. But it will be a hard game. I think we'll commit winners, but I think we'll win it quite well. And it's about 3 points anyway, whether it's 1-0. But I'm confident that, no overconfident, no saying that we're going to blitz them. I think we'll give them a good game, and I think we'll come away with the 3 points deservedly.
Poor
Let's be brutally honest, Ox. They'll be to try and spoil the party. It's Aberdeen after all, one of our biggest rivals.
How are they going to do that? Are they going to play 4-5-1?
3-5-2,
3-5-1-1?
They play 4-5, 5-4-1, mate. You know, they've only got young Bruce Anderson and the boy for Leeds up front. That's their 2 choices, mate. And I think they'll probably go with Bruce Anderson. He started most of the pre-season games, scoring 3 goals in 4 games. But I always say, mate, cream rises to the top, and I think Rangers have been playing with enough swagger, you know, for Kent, Hadji and Aribo to get, you know, to break the lines, mate. That's it. That's what's going to be hard tomorrow. I reckon Rangers will need to rely on, you know, Alfredo's going to be dropping deep a hell of a lot, I think. So they'll need to look for Aribo to go and break the lines. Hadji and Kent, they two seem to be given the sort of freedom, Oxshire, to switch wings, and I think that's very important tomorrow. I think that's who we're going to need to rely on. So I just think I'm not being overconfident. I know they'll be able to spoil it and make it a very poor game to watch. But Cream by yesterday taught me. I just think you've got far too much in the forward areas for Aberdeen, in my opinion, mate.
All right. Port Bear mentioned Hadji there, George. I've said the jury's out. Pataudry, crowd or no crowd, we'll see if he's got the heart for the fight.
Well, that's what it's all about, Ox. Ken, it's all right doing it in big European nights and that, Ibrox, and the boy has done it on certain occasions, but we need guys to step up when it matters. And I'm with Jimmy here. I've said it for a couple of seasons now. Nothing else matters to me. I want the league title back, and that's going to involve going up to Aberdeen, and it's going to involve going to all these different places, Inverness, Ross County, wherever it is. It's going to involve going to these places. We're going to have guys who's got to be able to stand up to it. We had you. I think he's got to be a player for us this season. I really do. Big Borna and guys. I think we've got a lot of guys in that team we can rely on now, and I think we've got a wee bit of football about us as well. So we keep on touching on it. For me, we're missing that guy, that person in the middle of the midfield that can break everything up and win things. And I think that'll go a long way to improving our team and improving Haji's play on the park box.
Rudy, am I right to be sceptical, or jury still out on Hadji, or do you think he's the finished article?
No, I don't think he's a finished article. I think he's too young for that. Yeah, I think he'll be a much better player in a couple of seasons' time. I don't doubt for a minute that he's got talent, Ox. I think he's already shown that, and I think he's shown he's a big game player. So he has. I get some of his away performances in the sort of end of last season and stuff like that. I get that, but then there was many other players in the team you could have said that about as well at times. Do you know the only wee niggly doubt I have about Hadji is he still seems a bit lightweight to me. I'm not sure if maybe he should bulk up.
Why don't you invite him down to your house for a fortnight and he'll be fine?
Feed him up a bit, aye. I think if he just bulked up a wee bit more, he wouldn't look so. He looks a bit. I mean, he obviously isn't, but he looks a bit 8 stone soaking wet to me. And I'm not so sure how players like that kind of style of player gets on in the Scottish League, because it's a tough league, in all honesty. As we're seeing the kind of stuff that goes on. But I don't doubt his talent, Ox. I really don't. He's certainly not the finished article, though. I think he's wait a couple of seasons for that at least.
All right, we've been joined by a caller. Evening. Oh, it's Alex. I recognise the number. Evening, Alex.
How you doing, Ox? You all right, mate?
I'm all right. How's your good self?
Aye, I'm fine. Enjoying this sticky weather tonight, eh?
Aye. JFK's got a nice new summit on. Do you want to explain that to the people, Port Bear?
Summit is
No.
nice...
Your name's JFK. Port Bear's going to explain it.
Is he?
Well, as I was told and educated before the show started, Summit, I thought it was Summit and Draws with somebody's name, but I was told before the show it's a best. I didn't know that. They thought I knew that, but I didn't know what it was. And I bet you Stardog didn't know what a Summit was either.
Tell him, Stardog. Get him, tell him.
What's that, sorry?
Do you know what a Summit is?
Not got a clue, mate.
Yes.
Just like Rapines, but
every day's a school day.
Aye, well, I mean, you sit with your Summit on having your nose bag.
How we doing, Alec? Welcome to madness.
It's been good banter tonight between you all. I was just listening to Port Bear there earlier. I made a wee comment, so you'll know where I'm coming to here. He was buying that Castor gear. He's £150 and a sweatshirt. Was it £50 and a t-shirts, and he's got 5 names. What oil rigs the boy working on?
He gets £1,000. He gets £1,000 a night on here, mate.
Well, I don't know if he'd won the lottery or something, but he must go on a good bean anyway.
Well, maybe he's moving on. Stakes that have been purchased.
A lot of shoplifters down in that Port Glasgow.
Yeah, they have.
What do you think, Stardog?
Has he had a new and improved contract, Ox, has he?
He's got. I think what happened, mate. I'll be really honest with you. We had them in the office. We gave them the contract. Stardug in Port Bear, and Port Bear signed Bridges' contract.
Never trust a man that puts gravy in his steak.
Here, well said, Stardug. Well said. Alec, come on, hurry up, get us back to the football.
The Bristol boy. I'm loving your positivity tonight, boys. I'm pretty confident about going up to Aberdeen tomorrow. We've started fantastic in the pre-seasons. I think actually playing with no crowd has worked in our advantage, because the guys are out there with basically no pressure on them, and it's shown in their performance, and they're letting their football do the talking. Rangers play a possession game. So
obviously the majority would have been watching that game on the telly tomorrow, and I'm not enjoying it with the piece. I tried to watch some of the Premiership games a bit more when it was our club, because you're more intense and more into it. But I think once the whistle goes tomorrow and it's 3 points at stake, I'll be right into it, Malik.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Definitely. But I've watched quite a bit of football across Europe, and I've noticed a trend in it. See your home teams where you're expecting a home victory, the guys aren't performing as they should be, because obviously they live off the crowd and the influence and what have you. And so the away teams are actually performing, and getting the results.
I'll go to you. I'll take that to a guy who constantly struggles to perform at home. JFK.
Well, hey, dude. I've been saying all along, I'm really confident about what we're going to do this season, and I can't see us faltering. That's good feeling that I've got about the team now. And we know what like Aberdeen when you go up there, and look, it'd be great. I mean, I wouldn't be up there anyway because I don't go to the away games myself and Ox here. That's past us now. But the guys that got to Aberdeen know the venom that comes from the other side, and I think our team will thrive on not having a crowd tomorrow, especially Alfredo. No, anybody that goes to away games, I say the guys that I speak to that go to away games tell me about some of the abuse that Alfredo gets, and it's absolutely disgusting, racist, disgusting language towards him. So he'll not have that tomorrow. That might make him play better, and I hope it does. And we'll see what transpires in the coming weeks, whether he's still at Ibrox or not. But again, I think the team will play well tomorrow without the crowd, and I think it will benefit us Ox here. And I say,
Gary, what's your thoughts, mate?
I think the whole setup is set up for us to win. Alfredo, I think he'll go to prove a point tomorrow, to be honest. I think if it's his kind of send-off, I think he'll go out to battle them. But again, like I said earlier, it's just Aberdeen. it's just a hard game. And don't get me wrong, I think Tavernier was saying in his interview today, saying that he's actually, the communication with the players is a lot better.
I can understand that, mate. It makes sense. And when you've not get the electric noise sometimes you've got at Ibrox, you can't get your message across, and you've got to use horn signals. I used to get the horn signals a lot on the park.
I'm just glad he's not coming out and saying he's fit to play Aberdeen, mate, because I've still not forgot that with Tavernier about last season. I really haven't forgot that about him. I don't think he should be doing any interviews.
Aye.
Good point.
Was that not the statement he put in the programme, mate?
Aye, mate, against Hamilton. I'll never ever forget that, mate. I don't think the word should ever be uttered to any Rangers player, never mind a captain, mate. And I'll never ever forget him saying that, mate. Never.
Let it go.
I can't.
Rudy Bear, what's your view on the crowd tomorrow, mate?
I can't see how it could be 100 stays off, so it won't be. I mean, I know.
So will you be saying that next week when we're playing St Mirren at Ibrox?
Well, maybe no. But
right.
I mean, at that, when you got to Pataudry, I mean, I like Jimmy you know, I don't go to away games anymore, but I used to love the day out. And you know, every time the Rangers go to Pittodrie, the Bears are there in their numbers. Anywhere they go, it doesn't matter where Rangers play. There's always a great away support. There, away support will not be there tomorrow. So the players just need to find it within themselves. You know, if it's tough, then they just need to dig the result out. You know, as far as Aberdeen not having any fans there, I can't see how that can be a hindrance. You know, because the venom and bile and stuff that they get for the stands, as all the boys have just talked about there, that's not going to be there. So I can't see any reason why we can't go up there and get the 3 points tomorrow. As I said earlier on, I'm going for a 3-0, but if it's a bridge, man, that'll do me, Ox, because it's only about the 3 points, as you said about 20 minutes ago or so. It's only about getting the 3 points, coming back down the road with a win and getting the W, and that's how it is, you know. So no fans, well, they just need to deal with it either way. They just need to deal with not having any the Rangers support there backing them. And they just need to deal with, well, they can easily deal with not having any Aberdeen fans there. It's simple. It's weird though watching it on the telly. I find it a bit strange.
Get yourself in mute because we've been joined by a true legend. Evening, George.
All right, lads, how you doing?
How are you, mate?
Georgie.
First of all,
bang on.
Are you safe, George?
Fevered up for tomorrow. Fevered up.
All right, you fevered up. First of all, are you safe and well, George? You've been keeping well with the break?
I'm right. Totally, mate. Totally keeping well.
Good man, good man. Right, give your thoughts.
Lockdown. But then time. My thoughts, man. I honestly think we're going to win 2-0 tomorrow.
Right.
Aberdeen will make it tough, the usual stifle us, man, but I still think we'll beat them 2-0. I hope we are.
Aye, what have you thought in the pre-season, George?
I thought we've been excellent pre-season. I thought defending we've been excellent and all. No let it go on. No mistakes, no nothing, man. I just thought we've been absolutely brilliant, man. I really do. I just hope tomorrow can do the exact same tomorrow. And if we score more than 2, I'll be even more happier.
Who's impressed you, George?
What's that, mate?
Who's impressed you?
Hey, Barisic, 100%. And I'd say, to a certain extent, Hadji and all.
Right, okay.
Morelos has been no bad at all, actually. I don't must be honest about it. He's getting a lot of grief for no scoring, but he's in about the box, and I'm talking about, and his play's been excellent, let's be honest about it, man, you know what I mean?
I think he's all right. I think he's been all right without any goals. I thought he was the best player against Coventry. Anybody disagree?
I thought the same. See his thing that he's 1-2 where he was. I thought it was absolutely fantastic goal, man. Fantastic goal. You know what I mean? And how's Bridgman? Is he all right?
Aye, he's fine, mate. He's just recuperating. He's got to build his strength up, mate. And hopefully we'll hear from him tomorrow, mate. Yeah, we've not heard from him today.
Absolutely great, man. Great.
We've not heard from him today, but if we don't hear from him tomorrow, we will be in contact with him, mate, to make sure he's okay.
Damn tootin', mate. Damn tootin'. The guy's a legend, you know what I mean? Absolute legend. I mean, same as yourself, man. And Jimmy, box in the box. You know what I mean?
Port Bear signed his contract.
A 5-year one.
Aye, I don't think Bridge does 5-year contracts.
So what do you think the score will be yourself, Ed?
I think we'll score more than 2 goals, mate.
Oh, on you go, man.
I think we'll score more than 2, and it's up to the defence then to if they keep a clean sheet and let in 1, we should win comfortably. But I'm not saying we're going to win 4 or 5.
So it's 3-0.
No, it could be 3-1, 4-2. I think we'll score more than 2 goals.
Oh well. Anyway, I hope you're right. I totally hope you're right. You know what I mean? Even 2-0, just as long as we get you 3 points, man, get the markers on the board. You know what I mean? That's all we want, innit?
That's what it's all about, Port Bear. When you come first.
I'm just going to say, for the last couple of minutes, I watched that boy Balogun in the training session today. Looks very fit. Liked the way he stroked the ball about. Do you think he could be a surprise inclusion tomorrow?
Well, it's going to be a surprise for me because he's played with Golson before and he's fit. Port Bear.
Said it all week, mate. I've said it all, pretty much all week that I had a wee inkling feeling that just due to his experience and his fitness, I think he'd be, thrown in. I don't think it's a risk. I really don't think it's a risk. I think he's got enough experience at a national level in Germany in the Premiership just to slide alongside Goldson, and be really comfortable, mate. And he's quick on the deck. He's comfortable on the ball, So definitely, mate. I think would it be a surprise? I wouldn't be surprised. I just feel with his experience, it's natural for me. You pick your experienced guys that you've got here. And as I said before, Edmondson's not put a foot wrong. He really hasn't the whole pre-season. But it's just the experience, mate. And I think we need any experienced players we've got, mate.
GFK.
I think he's got a chance of playing tomorrow, mate. I mean, if we give our teams before they go off the other night, I would like to see Balogun playing alongside Goldson tomorrow, and that would mean that the young Edmondson would need to drop out. But I'm with Fox. I've been watching the training sessions and all, and I think he's up for it. He took part in everything that he should have, I would say, in the training session. It shows that he's there for the tomorrow's game. Hopefully knows a sub. I'd like to see him play, mate. I would. Mm-hmm. I think he's worth a go.
Alec, any thoughts on it, mate?
Well, I would say it would be harsh on Edmondson to drop it because, like Portbear said, that I don't really think he's put a foot wrong in the pre-season games, but I know where the guys are coming from. I mean, going with reports for Wigan this year, Balogun was one of the best defenders in the Championship, and he's obviously got that link with Goldson for his Brighton days as well. So it could be a surprise inclusion, but you can see where Gerrard would be coming from if he did play. But for me, I would still go with Edmondson because him and Goldson, they've been clean sheets every game.
If I was to say, George, that there's a flaw, George UK, then George Logan, that in Edmondson's games, it is his header. So maybe the manager's looking at that. George UK?
I totally agree with that. Every now and again, he's due a clanger, isn't he? You know what I mean? Nothing to say, that new boy, man, he looks the part, doesn't he? He does look the part. So it would be a good idea if the two him playing next to Goldson tomorrow, man, because I can't see a guy making any mistakes at all.
George
he's
Logan?
Solid, you know what I mean? He's a good ball player and all.
I've thought the opposite all week, so I thought that Big Edmondson was a shoe-in just because of when the guy's season finished. When he started playing with us and things like that, I wasn't sure how much fit he would be and things like that. I've seen the videos as well, and I've kind of changed my mind now. The big guy looks pretty red on his feet and pretty up for it for me, so I think there might be a wee sneaky chance that he might play them more. If you'd asked me that on Wednesday, I wouldn't have much of a chance, but just seeing the way he's spraying about in the training session, I think there's a good chance he might play them more.
Stardog?
I think he's going to play Oxford. You mentioned that Edmondson's strongest point, isn't he? He's headering. They are going to try and draw free kicks, mate, and get the ball in the box for their three centre backs tomorrow. So I think he's experienced, mate, as well. Do you think it's an important? I know it's going to end of the show, mate, but do you think it's important for Connor Goldson to have somebody that's more experienced than him in there as well? That he's not our most experienced centre back now, mate. Because he's no. I wouldn't go as far as saying, mate, he doesn't deserve to be in the first team, but he's made some mistakes, mate. But it's good to have an older head there to help Connor Goldson a bit now. I think. I think he will start Balogun for his aerial ability as well, mate.
Well, right, okay, Gary, and then Rudy.
When he signed that, I thought that would eventually be the partnership. But I noticed the manager was saying last week that he was hoping to get Hollander game time in the bounce game on Tuesday, and then he said today that everybody's fitting well, apart from Defoe and Davis. So Hollander might be in amongst all that as well, and maybe hopefully this 5 substitutions.
Do you think he looked fit enough to play just a week ago, mate, against Coventry? He looked as if he was at least 2 weeks away from me, maybe 3.
Aye, no, but that's it. I don't know, obviously the manager and stuff, but I suppose that guy's just came off. He's just finished his his season, isn't he?
Aye,
That
aye.
new signing. So he's technically he's match ready. So aye, going forward, I would hope to see the two of them together as Golson, the new guy, because that seems a bit of a more solider defence.
I don't see
Rudy
Balak
Bear.
tomorrow at Ox. I really don't. I like the look of him, don't get me wrong, and I get all the stuff about his experience. He's just finished playing and all that, so he's ready to go. I think he'll go with Goldson and Edmondson tomorrow. I'd like to see Balogun come off the bench maybe with 20 minutes to go. Just get him into the game, depending how the result is, obviously. But a good point you made not that long ago there, Ox, was we've been talking about the front three and Morelos and goals and all the rest of it. You had to know right in the head, the defence has got to concentrate, regardless of who it is that's playing at centre-back. The defence have got to be on it tomorrow, because they will all be going for the free kicks and corners and set pieces. So they've got to concentrate tomorrow. Played well in the pre-season, but that's pre-season. This is where it starts properly tomorrow now,
Aye, it's a big game.
Yeah.
It's a big game, innit? It's a big game. You all looking forward to it?
Yep.
Yep. Oh, definitely.
Can't wait.
Come on, the Rangers. Come on, get into them.
Anyway, gentlemen, we've reached that time of the night, and I'd like to thank everybody who's joined us tonight, everybody on the phone, all the boys in the panel, Fox and Old School Blue doing the technicals. Always great to hear from Gary, George Logan, Port Bear, GFK, Rudy Bear, Starduck. And I think a lot of people missed George for EK. What do you think, lads?
100%. 100%, mate.
Yep.
I'll be
Superb,
back.
George.
Don't you worry about
Superb, mate.
I'll be back.
I'll be back.
Georgie Schwarzenegger.
And the boys that phoned earlier on in the show. Thanks very much to all the Rangers fans, all over the world, particularly Rangers fans on here. Can I just say, keep it going for the Rangers, because the Rangers really need you. This has been Rangers Radio, by the people, for the people, because we are the people. We'll be back in 12 and a half hours' time with a pre-match show. Take it away, Old School Blue.
Good night.
From a guy so young to Glasgow City, they come seeking fortune and a new way of life. How could they know their ambitions would grow? Such a beautiful story, and here's how it goes. Four lads had a dream to start a football team. They had no money, no kit, not even a ball. They still carried on. The Rangers were born. 54 titles, we're still going strong. So hoist up your Rangers flags, sing with your heart and voice, celebrate the greatest club in the world. Let our history show what we already know. We are the Rangers, the greatest of all. Four lads had a dream to start a football team. They had no money, no kit, not even a ball. They still carried on, still carried on. The Rangers were born. 54 titles, we're still going strong. Four lads had a dream to start a football team. They had no money, no kit, not even a ball. They still carried on. The Rangers were born. 54 titles, we're still going strong.
Welfare.
Hello.
Steady there. Getting worried here.
I'm here. Don't know what happened there.
But Terry's no answered
Yeah.
yet. He's on mute, so I'll kill the call and start another call and bring you 4 back in, right? Just in case.
Okay, doke.
If he's all drop out, I'll bring you back in.